So here's a short story which is a perfect example that the levels of greed and despicable tactics a bitter ex-wife will use on an ex-husband to get their way is just unreal. And in this situation here, this guy's ex-wife, who's made the divorce very difficult, is now trying to get him to pay him extra money for her now kids. In other words, he has a son with her, and she wants money for his kids. And of course, doing everything she can to make this guy's life difficult in the whole thing. But of course, he's like, hell no. And that'd be a good one here to make the case once again, guys, whether you want to get married at all, as well as never give in. And be very careful who you choose to get married to. And by the way, this story I read in the comments takes place in India. And you're going to see what's going on here. But this guy's holding strong. Titled, Am I the a-hole for refusing to pay for ex-wife's other kids? Obviously not. And I shout to Jerry for sending over the story. He says, I'm 40 years old and I have a son who's 14 with my ex-wife. Our marriage was very bitter because she always loved her ex and kept this fact hidden for years, and it nearly bankrupted me in a mutual divorce. So he's in India, he says. I find this out later on. Maybe they're in an arranged marriage. So she was always in love with her ex, like boyfriend or something like that. I don't know. The courts here give majority custody to mothers only, even if they are worse, and I get every weekend with my son. I wish I could get him more, but they don't allow it. Despite my son wanting to live with me, I've done well for myself since then, and I run my own business, a store, which has expanded into multiple ones. Well, good for him. In spite of going through the hell of divorce and all that, he's done very well for himself. But notice he said where we are, even if the mothers are terrible in his country, they still want the kids to go with the mother. Big surprise. Even if the kid wants to go with the father. That's the crazy part. Because I know here at a certain age, a lot of places, if the teenage child wants to go live with dad, the court will listen to that. I also refrain from marriage again because every couple of weeks of marriage here can lead, even a couple of weeks of marriage here can lead to a heavy alimony here, thanks to the misuse of the laws. Maybe one day, but I've lost faith in this institution. Well, get in line, brother. Welcome to the club, because if you're watching this channel, you pretty much have lost the faith in the institution of marriage. In a perfect world, things will be like they were in the old days, and we can actually have a nuclear family, because the nuclear family is so important. But until that changes, I don't encourage marriage. Since then, she got remarried to her childhood love and had 2 more kids with him. He also has 2 other kids from his ex who died in an accident. An accident, huh? He was quite well off when they got married, but post-COVID, they had lost everything. I feel they planned the whole thing to get back together after his wife's death. I already pay heavy maintenance, and she tried to get more from the courts who denied it. Now, when he says maintenance, he means child support, because that sounds like alimony. Obviously, she got married again, so in most cases, he wouldn't have to pay. No, this is child support. He explains that later. Since then, they had to change their children's school, but I pay for my son's expensive school, which is another rift. I don't allow the change, and my obligation is to my son. In other words, they don't have any money anymore, so their kids have to go, I guess, to regular school, but he's paying for his son, who lives with a mother, to go to an expensive school, a private school, something to help him out in life. So there's problems. She keeps demanding more money from me. F you. You got your money. You married your rich guy. You fucked everything up and lost all your money. It's getting irritating. I have no interest in her other kids. She keeps denying my son to my side at my family events, which fall during her custody time. No flexibility at all. She says I should step up by giving my son's siblings money. Don't allow him in trips with me, and I have to get a month's notice from the court in the summer vacations to travel with my son. So you see what's going on here. She's doing everything she can to make that, keeping him from seeing his son, making his life a living hell. And at the end of the day, who's she robbing from this? Her son. You would think by 14 years old, this son can see right through his mother's shit. I hope. His step and half-siblings are jealous of the things which my son gets from me. Tough shit. Tough shit. I recently celebrated my son's birthday at my place, way after the birthday date, as she didn't allow it. And he got lots of expensive gifts. He keeps them at his mom's house because it is his main residence. He doesn't share anymore, and I don't ask him to after other kids made an issue about it. My ex tried to give away some of the things to his step and half-siblings. I told her to buzz off their expensive gifts. I don't think he told her buzz off. I think he used another word starting with an F. So this may kind of sound like his son's spoiled. Now, that's not my interpretation. He's just providing nice things for his son, and the son's like, these are my things. And the freaking moocher step siblings and half siblings, they all want a piece of it. He is my sole heir, and after he turns 18, he'll move out, and I will slowly help him run my businesses and give it to him. He doesn't like his step siblings and half siblings, and is close to his cousins, brothers, and sisters from my sisters. Now she is panicking about the maintenance, child support, ending in some years, and keeps asking for more money from the family. Yeah, I bet she's freaking out. She's got 4 years to go, if the 18 is the thing there. Otherwise, she would never allow my son to visit and have extra time outside custody. She tried to take his things away from him already, but he fought and got them back. Well, good for him. So I think the son's already seeing how much of a snake his mother is. It's just such a shame. At 14 years old, for God's sakes, he had to be able to go in front of a fucking judge, a family court, and say, look, I want to live with my old man. This is ridiculous. But I guess in that country, you can't do that. My friends say that she is the mother of my son, and I should help because it won't affect my bank account. But I don't like her and don't want to support her at all. Am I the a-hole? No, you're not the a-hole. Tell that friend of yours to go freaking kiss your ass and do more than buzz off, as you said earlier. No, you're not the a-hole. You don't owe her. You don't owe his step-siblings or half-siblings anything. I mean, they're kids. I'm hoping they're not bad kids, but regardless, you're taking care of your son. End of story. That's your only child to take care of in this world. And she's doing everything she can to make it difficult. I'm sure your marriage was miserable, hence that's why you got divorced. I'm sure she was cheating on you to get with that guy, her first love. Why should you do anything to help her? If you had a good relationship with her, it was an amicable divorce, and she was kind to you and everything, and made things easy, and fell under hard times, and maybe you did some nice things for those kids because they were struggling. That would have been different if she was a truly nice person and good to your son. But she's a greedy wench. All right, she's an awful mother, so you don't owe shit. And I think it's funny that she actually feels entitled to this, but I'm not surprised. And I also find it funny that she's probably freaking out. She's got 4 years to go to milk it, and then boom, your son's out of there. And I would hope that when that kid turns 18 years old, seeing how his mother is, pretty much he'd tell her to go fuck off, which probably wouldn't happen in the Indian culture because they're very, respectful family, but maybe, who knows, under the influence of dickheads like me in the West, he'll tell his mom to fuck off. And then he'll go live with you. He can learn your business and do well, and that'll be the end of it. Who knows? But anyhow, there you go. Now, he has more information in the comments section because people are very curious about his divorce situation, and I'll read it. He said, I paid for very expensive lawyers in the divorce. Our laws are very women-centric, no matter what, because of the problems women faced in the past. There you go. So things were so far in the pendulum before, now they've gone the other side of the pendulum to screw men. How about a happy medium? Like I was framed for violence, and I never raised my voice to her, let alone my hands. That is what divorce lawyers do here to get such high alimony. I tried everything, just 4 years to go. Well, family lawyers and divorce attorneys are equally snakes here too in the US of A as they are in India, dude. One person asked him, in what country does the ex-wife keep getting maintenance alimony even though she's married to another man? Makes no sense at all. And he says, I meant maintenance as child support. We use them as the same, so I get mixed up. I paid heavy alimony during the divorce, which includes selling my pre-marriage assets because of fake violence cases on me and my family. She even put a case against my sister, who's overseas, that she beat her. How is she going to beat her when she's overseas? And it takes years to solve such cases. So lawyers use it to get high alimony if you want to end the case fast. And the court makes me pay more than required because she says she doesn't have money due to the other issues. That's not your problem. She got the maintenance increase way more than the formula of child support. And she tried again last year, but the court refused a second time. She uses that money for the whole family, not just my son. I'm also paying his school fees and other activities out of my pocket. She gives no contribution. So of course she takes that money he pays her and uses it for all the kids. I bet you his kid hardly gets anything. That kid probably sleeps under the fucking stairs like Harry Potter. Another question. Somebody says, not the a-hole, but from the sound of it, you need a better lawyer. And this guy says, I paid for expensive lawyers. Our laws are very women-centric, no matter what, because of the problems they faced in the past. I was framed for D-violence. I never raised my voice to her. This is what divorce lawyers do to get high alimony. Tried everything, just 4 years to go. So he kind of said the same thing before. But anyhow, guys, be very careful if you indeed are going to get married. Be very careful who you marry, or reconsider that. Because we know darn well that things are not at all equal and balanced, and guys get the shaft. It's ridiculous. Some states are better than others, but still, look at the big picture there. But the level of greed and being that despicable to get what she wants. But good for him. He's standing his ground. And in 4 years, well, she's going to be in deep shit.